Hey friends, Haley Wheezy here. This is a special interview with none other Jen Rambala, and I am so excited for you to get to know this beautiful woman. This is I want to do more of these kind of interviews, meet and greets, particularly for women who are in network marketing, particularly in doTERRA, who are utilizing human design to do this beautiful business model in their own unique way, because that's the whole point of understanding our human design, right? It's to understand our natural strengths. It's how to connect with our community on a deeper level, and it's how to empower our leaders so that they can feel empowered on this journey and not just like a cookie cutter situation, which we can see a lot in network marketing. And I think that's the space where Jen and I originally connected on. So we actually connected in a whole completely different Facebook group. I have one separate to doTERRA, and I think it's called Jinkies and Human Design for Coaches and Healers, something like that. And she just happened to comment on one of my posts, and she mentioned that she had a background in network marketing, and that always interests me. And just the way that she was writing and expressing herself, I knew that we were kind of on the same page with a lot of things. And of course, she is a 6/3 emotional manifestor. So if you know things about human design, there is a lot of not only wealth and wisdom there, a lot of experience there, and a lot of like go-getter energy there when she's ready like to light that match. And she kind of is ready to light that match. This conversation was, I think, really relevant for this community because, you know, I've been in doTERRA now for close to 9 years. I know Jen probably started 5 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, I was in since 2017.
Yeah, there you go. So well, that's even longer. What year is it now? That's
7 years, right?
7 years.
Damn, like shoot.
um, and we grow and develop in this industry, and sometimes we have to take a step back. Sometimes we have to re-envisage what this journey could look like for us. And we also have to sometimes have the permission to do things differently. And we want to talk about all of those things. But first and foremost, I would love Jen to just, share a little bit about herself and her doTERRA journey up until this point. And then we'll talk about, once we've kind of got that set up, we'll talk about like the future and what we envisage available to us, not only in this business model, but also for ourselves and our own personal development as well.
All right,
Jen,
thank you.
over to you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jen. I'm a human design business alignment coach and also a trauma-informed breathwork facilitator. Just to kind of go back, though, a little bit, when I first started in business, it was with doTERRA. I still am a stay-at-home mom of 2. And so I had started doTERRA when my daughter was 6 months old and my son was 2. And so it was, I started off with just the products. I absolutely loved it. And then it fell into my lap so naturally. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And by the way, just total, like, I am the F-bomb queen. So we need to just clear the air if we have to clear the air. That's just my vibe. So, so I started loving the oils, everything, and the business just fell into my lap naturally. I kind of jumped through the ranks. I mean, there's so much within my processes of everything, but I think the biggest thing was as I experimented within human design or within network marketing, I came to realize there were so many things that were creating resistance within my body and a lot of conditioning actually that I was not able to really move through. And so my network marketing business was the biggest catalyst for my healing, for me to really look at what my limiting beliefs were, what my blocks were, what was happening at each level, why I was feeling my not self theme. And so for those of you who are familiar with human design, one of the most powerful things, at least for me, has really been looking at my not self theme and where it was showing up. And that was the biggest piece. I kept feeling this anger. And so we'll get into that a little bit after, but eventually throughout my journey, I ranked pretty quickly in doTERRA. And I realized when I hit silver within, a year, it was super fast. And I realized I was like, I don't want to do this alone. It felt like I was doing everything myself, right? Eventually I shifted in and then I was able to hit gold. And that was, a beautiful process. However, throughout my journey of network marketing, there was always a lot of resistance. And a lot of that came from me not listening to my own inner guidance. It was following what everybody else wanted. It was following my upline. It was following the systems and the processes that were actually really going up against how I wanted to do things my way. And eventually, when I started leaning in to go from silver to gold, that's when I started to really listen to myself. Human design was something that completely led me into being able to do that. I was doing a lot of coaching and all of that stuff behind the scenes. And then fast forward in 2021, my dad had tragically passed. And I left that hospital room a completely different person. And that's when I completely pivoted outside of network marketing. And it was more about like, I want to pursue my dreams of coaching and doing what I love. And I have to put this on hold to be able to do that. And so now here we are 2 years later, 3 years later, and I've kept my network marketing business as passive income. I love doTERRA. It is absolutely incredible. It is a blessing that I have been able to grow a community of, almost over 1,000 individuals and have that passive income to support me. It's so incredible. It just hasn't been the focus for the past 3 years, but behind the scenes, you know how it is if you're not working your business full front, right? There's still stuff you're always doing behind the scenes. You're still actively enrolling and supporting. It's just might not be at the forefront. And so here we are today. One of the things that I'm super passionate about is really helping women in business, helping entrepreneurs in business just unleash their like sovereign inner rebel, do things your way, get out there to be the powerhouse and really just tap into your own inner guidance. And, when I say your sovereign inner rebel, what that means to me, sovereignty is really being able to hold your ground, your foundation of who you are. I see this work as being, who are you in your business before anybody else comes in to tell you how to do it? What do you want in your business? And what does it mean to you? And what would it feel like to be able to unleash that part of yourself that can just, oh God, I get chills when I just say it, just unleashing yourself, because we all have those superpowers. The conditioning part is the part where I see so many people stay trapped in the matrix of just their mind, right? It's their mind body disconnect. And so when I became a breathwork facilitator, that was the thing that really had me unlock so much of the deeper healing. I think business is so powerful. Personal development is amazing, right? But it's only going to get you so far. And so that's one of the things I think that's so wonderful about what Haley and I are kind of doing together, is there's this other piece within doTERRA that's missing, this embodiment piece, right? The piece that's really about the energetics. And so that's a little bit of my, background, my story, and here we are.
I really love that, because we hear all the time, or I especially heard it from, a lot of beautiful leaders in doTERRA, where comparison is the thief of joy in this business model. And we can look at how other people are doing things, and particularly like manifestors like yourself. And in Australia, some of the biggest leaders are manifestors and projectors, right? And so as a generator myself, I could look at them and try to be like them, but ultimately I can't. There's ways that we're all designed to hear and show up. And even looking at, I can see like Dana's a projector, like Jen, you're a manifestor, generator. Anessa, I can't remember. What are you, Dylan? You're a generator as well, Dylan?
Yeah.
Rachel's a
I'm
projector.
a generator.
Yeah. Right. So even on this call, we have 3 different ways of, did you say a manifesting generator or generator, Vanessa?
Generator.
I thought, oh, we nearly got one of each there. Like, we were so close. I'm like, oh, okay, no, okay. Anyway, we all have these different ways of operating, and like human design is definitely the science of differentiation. And we need to bring this into like the network marketing model, because even though there are certain proven frameworks that doTERRA teach, and look, any network marketing company teaches, and ultimately any sales or business, like it all like flows into one another. And I think what Jen and I have been doing in the past 3-4 years is, even though we've been running our doTERRA business, we've been building this other skill set around like real business skills and real coaching skills that, and for me, even like creating courses and things, bringing this back into my network marketing business, where there was so much health, wisdom, knowledge, community building that I took into business. And so I love how we can continue to have these different elements of us be infused back into something that we're truly passionate about. And something that Jen and I were talking about was, even though we have all of these other skills and ways to make money, there's still something in doTERRA that we can't let go of. And I think that's actually really, really important to acknowledge right now, because there's lots of different ways to make money in 2024. And we see them online all the time, right? And so I could easily go out and, attract 6 high-paying coaching clients for 12 months. And let's just say that they each pay me $20,000 a year, right? And I have 6 clients that I coach. I would earn potentially $120,000 in doing so. Now, what would happen if I then took and found 6 people who wanted to invest in themselves and grow a doTERRA business, and I had 6 of those people and I helped them full time for a year? Would you not think that I could get those 6 people to diamond to earn their own $120,000+ a year? And then that would make me a presidential diamond, which would be earning $80,000 to $100,000 a month, right? Same skills, same amount of people, same intention, but now not only am I helping those people make the money that I would potentially have earned, I've now potentially 6x my income, right? And so we have to sometimes look at network marketing using the same skills in business, but with a different lens. And really the intention is, who are we working with, who are we wanting to serve, and how are we wanting to serve them? And so it's not the fact that you can make more money doing other things. Yes, you can. But what I learned about creating 2 different businesses, one to a 6-figure network marketing business and one a 6-figure online course coaching business, is that when I'm not launching the coaching business, when I'm not constantly selling myself, I'm not earning any income, right? I mean, outside of, yes, I could create a funnel and there could be bits and pieces, but I still have to be actively on that. Or if I'm actually building up other leaders and I'm helping them to run their own businesses, I have true like residual income, and you will continue to get paid, like Jen has said, even though you may be diversifying your portfolio. Okay. And so we have to understand that there is so much power and potential here in network marketing as a business model, particularly with doTERRA, because of our products and the impact that this company makes on a global level. And it's, I think, why Jen and I can't let this go. Like, there is more to be done here. There is more people to be served here, and there's more people to be empowered here. And they may be in our community, right? Or they may not be. Like, no one here is in my team and no one here is in Jen's team. And Jen and I are not in the same team, right? And this is also the other power that we have within doTERRA, is our ability and openness to connect and collaborate, and understanding that the more lives that we can touch and impact, it's all going to come back to us in its own unique way. And so we don't have this lack mindset, or if you do, like, I really encourage you to think about it completely differently. When we teach and when we share our gifts with the world, it's always going to come back, but we've got to find out what they are for you. And I think that's what Jen and I really want to do. And I want to interview more people who are bringing human design into network marketing, and particularly the doTERRA business, for this group in particular, and understand how they're doing it, how it's working for them, but also how it's working for their team and community, because that's where we really get that simplification in systems, we get the sustainability in income, and we get the duplication, right? That is so critical in our industry as well. And so, Jen, I want to hand the mic back over to you, but I just want to talk about, because I don't want to be here forever, but I move for the next 10 minutes. I would really love to articulate 5 key areas, and I want to do this in kind of every interview I do. I want to talk about your dreams, your failures, your fears, your suspicions, and your enemies. And the reason I want to do this is because when we actually incorporate these 4 areas from ourselves into our business, we're going to be speaking directly to people who believe what we believe. And that's one of the key first steps, right? When we're building trust and reaching out and really wanting to attract the dream clients, the dream customers, the dream business partners that we want to work with. So, Jen, this is something that we kind of talked about before going on this call, but what are your dreams that you still have in business, and particularly in what you see that's available for people in the network marketing or doTERRA business?
Oh my gosh, it's such a big, like, open-ended question. So
Got
it's
2 minutes. Let's see if we can get this down in
2 minutes, right? But I have to go pick up my daughter after this.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, define route. Give me just a time frame. Boom, boom, boom. Great.
Boom.
Well,
Yeah.
under pressure. So for my dreams, what I see is, I mean, I when I tap into the bigger vision, I just see like a global rebel revolution of people really being able to tap into their own inner wisdom and power, but being guided by other people who are kind of paving that pathway. And I've always been such an initiator and an activator. And I experiment. I see the gaps. I see the issues. I see things in a very different way. And so part of my dreams is also really, guiding people on this deconditioning journey, which, to me just means reprogramming, reparenting, bringing in our inner child, doing the deeper work to really, unlock what's been stored in our body for years, shoved down and just pushed to the side, really looking at what's coming up at the level of the body and being able to process that. And so, moving forward, I'm going to be creating something that's a beautiful deconditioning academy, and then the stuff that I'm doing here for network marketing. Network marketing is something that's so on my heart. Whether you're just doing network marketing or you have a coaching business and you're bringing network marketing in, it is just so smart. Like, if there are products that you're using and you love, why would you not want to create income from that? Right? Having multiple streams of income, it's like, why can't we just like, when you hear the thing like money doesn't grow from trees, it's like, what if you fucking did? What if you were just like, yep, got my network marketing business. Yep, got my coaching business. Yep, got my programs, got my courses. Like, you can. However, we have to do it in a way that honors our energy, honors our body. And so that's what I see. I see, measuring success, not by the amount of money. That's a byproduct. I see measuring success by how you fucking feel in your business, because you have won if you feel incredible. And that's what I want, is like people out there just being like, hell yes, I did this and I feel so amazing. I'm not burnt out at the last second trying to get the, last sale for the BOGO. Right? It's like, this is just extra.
Yeah, it's all extra. It's all extra. This business is going to reward you. It's going to reward everyone the more they are themselves. And the less we start playing the roles that we think we need to be and more start embracing who we truly are, like you said, deconditioning and letting go of everything in between, then we really start to, like you said, feel good in our business, and then we win. Then we all win. However, I would love to also talk about like your failures, because like this journey is not perfect. And as a 3-line and the 6-3 in particular, you've had a lot of them. So like, what are some of the biggest ones that you could kind of highlight here? Because we need to normalize success, but we also need to normalize failure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, oh man, like, where do I start? 2 minutes. No, I'll just think of like the main ones that really gave me, and I'm going to use this as when I have felt my not self theme the most. And also some things where it was more of like an eye opening, like, oh shit, I definitely did that. When I first started network marketing, dude, I cold messaged everybody. Okay. And also I will say, as a manifestor, it can work because it does. All right. It does. However, that ickiness, right? By doing that and just cold messaging, who did I attract into my business in the beginning? It was people that I didn't really want to work with, right? Like just random people, everybody, any conversation. You're at, Target and you see somebody talk, you're like, hey, by the way, I have this oil. And next thing you know, they're in your phone and you're texting them. So, I mean, I look at that as just being a learning opportunity. I get it, success and failures. But when I look at failure, I see it as this is a huge growth opportunity. Yeah. It is a learning opportunity. And I love that. And so, like we always hear that phrase, it's like failing forward, it's beautiful because we learn from it. I think that was one of them. The other big one was strategizing with my upline. For me, that was a huge one. And the reason why is because it kept me stuck. I was somebody who grew really fast. And at the time, I was really trying to tap into my intuition. And by speaking and trying to, have these strategy sessions with my upline, it actually caused more inner chaos and confusion within my own body. And so it would feel like I was moving forward like a manifestor would. And then I would have this strategy session and I would share my dreams, my aspirations, and it would actually trigger other people. And so I allowed those projections to kind of, to sink in. And so I dimmed my light. And that's been a big piece of my, my journey here through network marketing, was really like, how can I shine my light and move forward, even if other people are afraid of my magnetism, of my bigness? How can I hold that for myself and not worry about other people? And so I don't know if that's necessarily like a failure, but for me, I see failure as when I'm feeling that like, ah, shit, I did it again. That to me feels like,
Yeah, and I think we can all relate to that at some point where we've dimmed our light out of what we think other people think we need to do or tell us to do, right? And we
Absolutely.
stop thinking for ourselves. And that's where it could come from your upline, your downline, your parents, like it could come from anywhere, right? It's really
Ab-
tapping back into our own inner authority and knowing what those next best steps are, for sure. It doesn't mean that we can't learn from other people, but we also have to be discerning on who those people are. And just because they are geographically in our upline doesn't mean that that's always going to be the best place to get that information from, right? All right,
Yeah.
your fears. What are your fears? Because, like growth is real and outside the comfort zone is unknown, right? So fears are we have to keep growing and feeling into them. What are your ones that you're pushing through right now?
Yeah. So I think for me, the fears, my big one, I'm going to get totally just real and vulnerable, is really stating what my goals are and
Mm,
being like, this is what I want. This is where I'm headed. And so as a manifester, right, I do have big vision. And even to myself, sometimes it can feel scary. There is this part of me that has to just lean into trusting God, spirit, source, universe, however, you relate. But for me, that's what it is, being like having global impact, being able to name, a certain amount of people that I would like to be in something. Sometimes the numbers come in and I'm like, holy shit, am I really going to do that? And so I'm getting more comfortable with voicing that out loud, sharing with people, right? Because part of my strategy is having to inform. And so how am I going to get people on board if I'm not doing that? And so I silently share behind the scenes what my goals are, and it feels so great and safe. And then my not self theme kicks in. And that's been one of my fears, really holding my bigness, holding my vision, but sharing it with other people, sharing it with everybody so that they can jump on the train. It's like the train is going, but if I'm only sharing it behind the scenes, nobody's going to know about it. So it's not going to work.
Yeah, I think people can definitely relate with visibility being a fear of theirs and holding that. And also particularly for someone like myself who has got to like big ranks, has had a lot of eyes on them, and then wanting to either change course, show up slightly differently, start talking differently. Like I was very heavily product focused and now I want to start speaking more business. And they're like, well, who is this? Who is Haley? Like, where is she gone? Like all of this kind of stuff. So using our voice and looking at that throat center is a really big, powerful space where we will have to understand, like particularly that is around that silver level too, is the voice, and whether we're using it for product education or opportunity education, like that's going to determine the people that we attract and how deeply we can go into our why and our vision and what we truly believe is possible here. It all stems from this space for sure. So I feel that too with the fear side of things. All right. So the
Because
next one.
I literally got a horsey, like my throat literally got all like messed. I've been
Oh,
totally fine. And then I'm like, of
yeah,
course.
we're
I'm like, of
activating it.
course.
This is exciting. This is exciting. All right. So like your suspicions, we always kind of get hit with these suspicions of like, is it too good to be true? Is it really actually truly possible? Like you and I are working on some stuff in the back end of, can it really actually be done easier? Do we actually have to follow this? Like, because everyone says we have to do it this way. So like, can it actually work another way? What are the suspicions that you currently have for yourself in your business?
So, so it's interesting because I feel like I always have, I mean, I guess some of it is like, is it really going to work? Oh, I'm going after it. And like, is my audience really primed? Are they ready? How many people are there? So I think for me, I don't know if I can answer the question, like, what are my suspicions? I feel like I see it as like the way that I deal with my suspicions. It's like, I have like that little voice, like, oh, is it really going to work? Can we
Mm,
really do it like this? Are people really going to see like,
mm.
that this is going to be something, right? But the way that I really look at that is just by holding the energy, holding the void, and just trusting. So it's really not about relying on my mind, because our ego
Mm.
is always going to try to find evidence that it's not working or it is working. And so for me, it's really about just trusting the process, even if the results aren't there yet.
Yeah, I love that. And it's, yeah, doubt and confusion, head center. Like this is the top triangle 100%.
Right.
It's dealing with the mindset for sure, and having some like mantras or a vision board or something that's going to keep pulling you forward, and understanding that these conversations will come up all the time, not only for yourself but the people around you. And that's okay because they're valid. And if we have them, other people are going to have them. So when we actually understand how to work through them ourselves, then we can help other people work through them as well. All right, final one, enemies. So we kind of talked about this. This is kind of like the whole point of some of the stuff that we're going to be like creating individually and together to support the doTERRA community. But what's the biggest enemy for you right now that we're like, let's go?
My biggest enemy. Hold on. So like in what context? Give me a little bit like.
So I think when we were talking about it was really like the network marketing matrix.
Okay. Okay. So, all right, there we go. Thank you. I was like, I kind of forgot that one. I'm like, where are we going with this? Okay. So I see it as, network marketing is an amazing business model, but there's also like the bro marketing that's really a part of it. There are these business tactics, right? You have to be duplicatable in the funnel and follow the systems and all of the rules, right? Where you really get trapped inside of this mindset of like, oh, fuck, am I doing it the wrong way? I must not be doing it the right way if I'm not getting the results that I'm seeing. That goes back to the suspicions, holding the void, holding the energy and the vision, right? And doing it your way. But I think that's, the enemy is really that ego, that mindset that's going to pull you out into trying to find the linear approach that, it has to be like this way. And really it's not, there's so much. It's like, I think when we look at it just being about success and money, if that's the driving force, I feel like we're always going to be disappointed. There has to be a deeper like vision and why and something that is pulling you towards what success actually looks like.
Yeah.
So like I feel like there's so much wrapped up in that, but I think the mindset and the personal development, like I said before, is great, but I think the enemy is just saying in that space, if you're not willing to do the deeper healing work, I personally, from my experience, I think that the healing work is the thing that sets you free. It allows you to move, right? I think when people are experiencing the patterns over and over and over again, and you're trying different strategies all of the time, that's the fucking enemy, is following all of the strategies. Like literally, you are the fucking funnel. Like strategy is important, but if you're doing the same thing over and over and over and trying to get different results, right? We know that's the definition of insanity. So there's something that's missing, and it's the energetic component. It's the embodiment. It's the healing work, right? The deconditioning. And that's where when human design comes in here, it's like, here's your soul blueprint. Here's your map. And it's not always easy to follow it because it's going up against everything that you've been told up until now, everything. And so you have to be willing to work with this new map that you're given. Oh, I'm getting chills, right? And so I think that's the enemy is like, here's how you're told to do it. Here you go. Like allowing this business model to guide you, or do you follow your inner guidance? Are you willing to follow your inner guidance and set yourself free, and create your own pathway, while also, yes, having systems and processes and strategies that clearly are important, but also being able to tweak them to your energy type, to your, your menstrual cycle or your moon cycle. That's another thing that I love talking about, is being able to run a business, alongside of your moon cycle. It's really powerful, maximizing and leveraging your energy in human design with your cycle, right? It's powerful stuff. Energy doesn't lie. We're a byproduct of who we're being all of the time. I always say that the results are a byproduct of who you're being. So if we don't like what's happening on the external, it's not like the blame and shame. Let me point to the systems. That's the enemy, right? It's let's look inside of the mirror and see what's actually going on. And that's the work.
And it is, isn't it? Because it's easy like to point the finger and it's like this system's broken or like whatever it is, but like we have to understand that there's three fingers pointing back at us, and we are always our own worst enemy. Like I'm always going to be the hardest person on myself. I'm always going to be the person that gets in my own way. And I wrote there definitely like we would look at the ego center for this for sure, because within that center is also sales, right? It's also competition. It's all of this kind of self-worth. Like how many stories come up about that when it comes to human to network marketing and doTERRA? It's like people don't like to be sold to, and we can have these, even just the thought of like, oh my God, I'm in sales. It's like, yeah, but how do you justify that? Like how do you show up in that space of sales is actually just the opportunity that you get to change someone's life. Like that's really what sales is. And it's whether you think that you are being salesy or whether you are understanding that there's a transaction happening, be it you're selling the business opportunity or you're selling a product. But ultimately, the more you're yourself, the more this opportunity is going to support you, the more you decondition from what everyone said you should do and actually start looking at, okay, well, these are the pipes and these are the framework that works, but how do I as an individual fit into all of these? And there is a beautiful leader in Australia who coined the phrase like be you and add the oils. And I think that's the most important thing. Understand all of these facets that you bring to your business, your community, your movement, that you want to make a difference in the world. And then like doTERRA supports that. doTERRA adds emphasis on that. It allows you to decondition. It gives you the physical tools, even to heal your emotional state, your spiritual body, your physical health. So you can also give more of that at the other end to others. So I love the fact that not only does the products that we get to use support, you know, the meat suit that we have and the energetic and the emotional side of personal development, but also the fact that we can help other people do the exact same thing, not only as a customer in their own personal life, but also as an entrepreneur for people who are joining you in this business. And I love some of the frameworks that doTERRA have, and I think we're definitely going to be leveraging those, like the pipes, like the belief levels. I think they're going to probably be the two things, but you're going to see them from us in a very, very different way, and you're going to see them from a more energetic space, and we're going to go through the lens of human design, particularly on the belief levels and the pipes. So yeah, like, thank you so much for joining me today, Jen. Thank you, Dana, Rachel, and Onessa for joining us live, and for everyone who watched the replay. I would love to also interview like other types, other profiles who are bringing human design actively into their doTERRA business, or if you would love to learn more about how we're going to help leaders in doTERRA utilize this, not only for themselves, but also how to support their own like frontline leaders, their own team through the lens of human design, then reach out so we can help plug you into some more free resources and some other courses that we're doing as well. You'll see us a lot more probably popping up too. And I encourage you as well, like if you've found something, you know, in your doTERRA business or human design journey that's supporting you, like share it in here so other leaders can grow and develop along in this beautiful community that we have. We have 680 people. Like, let's get to 1,000. Let's see how many people we can get in here learning this education, getting them up and running with at least the foundations. We're talking type, strategy, and authority. Like, let's start there for people, because obviously people on this course, like this call, have been working with either like Jen or myself on a more intimate deep dive of what human design is. But there's lots of people out there who just need to know the basics, and that's going to be like transformational for them. So I'm excited to support you in this space. Thank you, Jen, for partnering with me and for saying yes and bringing all of your juice and fire. And I'm really excited to bring more into this as well as we go. So sending you all lots of love on, what day is it? It's a Wednesday. It's a Thursday in Australia. And I love you all, and we'll see you soon. Ciao.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.